I would now like to introduce you to our host CEO this year, Jason Killens from South Australian Ambulance Service. Jason will give you a quick overview of the conference. Please welcome Jason. Thank you and enjoy the conference.
Well, good morning everyone, and thank you Ross. And it's fantastic to see so many here, so many colleagues here today from across Australia and indeed across the world too, with international colleagues with us who have an interest in and support the ambulance sector. And of course we, the South Australian Ambulance Service, are delighted to be the host city for the CAA Congress in 2017. Now, many of you have been in Adelaide since Monday, experiencing the winter weather. Mark, you brought it with you apparently, but it's kind of like home for me. And you've participated in the GRA Masterclass and some of you in the Resuscitation Academy. And I hear from colleagues that both were valuable sessions and lots of lessons have been identified. Now, not that it's a competition, where's Tony from Victoria? Not that it's a competition, but I do understand that our people trumped your people in the CPR challenge. And the next 2 days of the conference programme will set a similar standard of excellence for us across the sector. The programme will show why we are better off working better together with collaboration, with integration and in partnership, and of course the theme of our conference this year. Now, it's my job to tell you a little bit about the programme over the next 2 days and introduce you to some of the sessions, and we'll shortly hear from the Minister for Health here in South Australia, the Honourable Jack Snelling. But of course, we have a strong partnership with government, with the state government, with the Department of Health here, SA Health, and that helps us together as part of the health system deliver great care for all South Australians, and we're very proud of that. We'll hear from Martin Bowles, from the Secretary from the Federal Department of Health later, and again he will highlight why working better together strengthens the services, the care we deliver to our communities, to our patients around the country. From Victoria, we'll hear from Mick Stevenson about the dramatic thunderstorm asthma event in November last year, with a number of associated fatalities and many thousands of people reaching out to the health system for care and support during that unprecedented event. And then we'll also hear from a different angle, but different challenges. Matt Cannon from St John in Papua New Guinea will talk to us about the challenges of advancing paramedicine in a very resource-constrained environment, and I'm sure we'll all think differently as a result of perhaps what we hear from Matt later on in the conference programme. And we've also got Julie, who was introduced earlier, who's going to be doing a session for us today, talking about choosing life and creating your destiny. Her life story is compelling. Having spent quite a lot of time talking to Julie in recent months, her life story is compelling, and I urge you not to miss out on what she has to say later today. And then we've got Darryl Lovegrove, who will share with us a remarkable highlight about his story in the programme tomorrow. And then finally, perhaps before I say a few words about our organisation here in South Australia, two of our team will be presenting tomorrow on our journey to White Ribbon accreditation. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what White Ribbon is about, essentially it's a campaign to stop violence in the workplace against women. We're proud to be one of the organisations that recently received accreditation to White Ribbon this year in South Australia, and two of our team will share with you our journey to that accreditation later in the programme. So thinking about SAS and the ambulance service here in South Australia, planning for the future for ambulance services, of course, is a priority for all of us, and that's why we're here to learn from each other over the next couple of days. We have an opportunity to formulate a plan or a strategy, if you like, for the sector in the coming years across the next 2 days, and some of the workshops, the 3 strategic planning workshops that begin later this afternoon, will help us do that. But before we get into that, perhaps a few words about what we're doing here. So like you, like services around the country, we face challenges with increasing demand, resources being perhaps constrained, but we've been lucky in the last couple of years with 5 new stations, growth in the ambulance service here in South Australia, and later this year a state-of-the-art aviation and special operations base being opened down at Adelaide Airport, as a result of investment and commitment from the state government to grow the service and improve the care that we deliver to all South Australians. Now, before I perhaps move on, we've got social events last night. We had the welcome drinks last night, and we've got the gala dinner later this evening, a great opportunity to network and celebrate the success of some of our colleagues from services around the country. The venue for the dinner this evening is the Town Hall here in Adelaide, built in 1866 and has played an important role in the civic and cultural life of the city and state ever since. In 1964 it hosted the Beatles on the balcony. When they came, and their adoring fans here in Adelaide were able to see the Beatles on the balcony, as I said then, in 1964, and I'm told, although I haven't seen it, I'm told that the Town Hall also boasts a magnificent Walker and Sons organ. Now, I did have to Google that before I came in to understand exactly what a Walker and Sons organ is, but apparently when it was installed in 1990, it was the largest mechanical action instrument built in the UK in that century, and is sought after by organists around the world. So maybe we can have a look at the organ later, and if anyone plays the organ, of course, they can perhaps have a go later on in the Town Hall. But for now, I'll leave it there, and it will be my pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker, the Honourable Jack Snelling, MP, the Minister for Health here in South Australia.